What's up, airplane collectors? Welcome to a special episode of Model Airplane Showdowns. I'm your host Ray, and in the skies today we've got the 1 to 400 scale Delta Airlines Boeing 767-300ER. We also have not two, but three competitors today. Things are getting interesting already. First up is Gemini Jets. This model hit the scene in December of 2018, making it the oldest of today's competitors. Let's see if it stands the test of time. Next up is NG Model. Released in 2024, this model had a mixed reception from collectors due to its inaccuracies. Finally, we have a new competitor. Airplane collectors, please give a warm welcome to PandaModel. Their model was released in 2024, but it didn't hit shelves until 2025. Was it worth the long wait? Can they score first place on their Model Airplane Showdown's debut? We shall see very soon. For this competition, each model will be tested against the following categories. Each of the 11 categories has a maximum earning potential of 5 points, making a maximum final score of 55 points. The model to earn the highest number of points wins the competition. Hold on everyone, let's take a step back for a moment. Before we start, let's talk about the models. Each model is a replica of a Delta Airlines Boeing 767-300ER. While all three models are replicas of the same type of plane wearing the same livery, they are not replicas of the same airframe. Here, you can see each manufacturer's model and its corresponding tail number. The tail number is unique to each airframe, and it helps differentiate the plane from others in the fleet. Because each airframe is slightly different from one another, we will see this reflected in the models today. Points will not be deducted for accurate differences between the models. Tower to aircraft, the skies are clear, all systems go. Begin the showdown. Category 1. Size. All three manufacturers don't capture the size perfectly, but some do it better than others. Gemini Jets starts off strong, missing the fuselage and wingspan by only 1 mm. NG Model runs into some crosswind, missing the fuselage length by 2 mm and the wingspan by almost half a centimeter. PandaModel goes in between the two, missing everything by a millimeter or two. Category 1 results. Gemini Jets, 5. NG Model, 3. PandaModel, 4. Category 2. Fuselage. The Gemini Jet's fuselage is decent, despite the age of the tooling used to make it. The only downside is that the tooling is a cradle mold, which causes noticeable seams on the fuselage. The seam gap is a bit too large to ignore, so they lose 1 point. NG Model falls further behind. The fuselage shape is excellent, and there are no seam lines to worry about. Where it misses out is the printed detail. The cockpit windows are the wrong shape, and the window line is printed too high. PandaModel takes advantage by doing an excellent job on their fuselage. No issues here. Category 2 results. Gemini Jets, 4. NG Model, 3. PandaModel, 5. Category 3. Wings. The wings on the Gemini model are solid. There is plenty of detail to go around, and the wing flex is accurate. The winglets could use some work though, as they are too thin and too tall. NG's wings aren't doing them any favors. While the wings themselves are good, their assembly isn't. The wing flex is too low. The winglet is another story. It is completely inaccurate, looking more like a 757 winglet. PandaModel's wings are good. Details and assembly look good, and the winglet shape is the most accurate of the three manufacturers. Still, the shape isn't perfect. Category 3 results. Gemini Jets and PandaModel, 4. NG Model, 3. Category 4. Vertical Stabilizer. Gemini's vertical stabilizer takes a hit here. Misaligned paint and a missing rudder gap cost them a point. These are small imperfections rather than significant issues, hence the deduction of only 1 point. NG and PandaModel did their vertical stabilizers near flawlessly. No issues here. Category 4 results. Gemini Jets, 4. NG Model and PandaModel, 5. Category 5. Horizontal Stabilizers. Gemini Jets did some fine work on their horizontal stabilizers. All looks good, except for the seam gap, which has some hair and dust in it. NG's horizontal stabilizers are good, but not their assembly. A rough seam and incorrect angle point to issues in assembly quality. PandaModel doesn't follow in the footsteps of its competitors. Their horizontal stabilizers are well done, with a solid attachment to the fuselage. Category 5 results: Gemini Jets 4, NG Model 3, PandaModel 5. Category 6 Engines. Bird strike. Gemini's outdated engines aren't doing them any favors here. Seam lines, pylon gaps, and a shallow fan are subtle hints at this mold's age. These issues cost Gemini dearly. Despite their updated tooling, NG's engines aren't perfect either. This time, the fan is too deep, and the pylons have large gaps with the wing. Strangely, they also tried to cover up a vent on the exhaust nozzle. The Pratt & Whitney 4000 engines used on this model do not have vents on the right side of the nozzle, hence why it's covered up. PandaModel also takes a hit. While they don't make the same mistakes as their competition, there are still gaps between the nozzle and pylon. They also forgot to add vents on the exhaust nozzle, which are present on the CF6 engines used on this aircraft. Category 6 results: Gemini Jets 1, NG Model 2, PandaModel 3. Category 7 3D Details. The Gemini Jets model features antennas and a sat dome. The antennas that are present are decent, but one of them is slightly bent out of place. The sat dome shape is correct and it fits nicely to the model. On the bottom, however, one antenna is missing. NG also includes antennas and a sat dome. All of these are good, but NG also forgot an antenna on the front half of the fuselage. Once more, PandaModel takes the lead. Their antennas and sat domes are accurate and correctly placed. This time, no antennas are left behind. Category 7 results: Gemini Jets 3, NG Model 4, PandaModel 5. Category 8 Landing Gear. Landing gear aren't easy to make, but that doesn't excuse the crude tooling used by Gemini Jets. Missing struts and details cost Gemini a few points. NG pulls ahead, scoring perfectly with their landing gear. Job well done from NG. PandaModel should have received a perfect score, but they didn't. Flash between the struts detracts from the detail in the landing gear. Category 8 results: Gemini Jets 3, NG Model 5, PandaModel 4. Category 9 Paint Job. Gemini Jets usually performs well in the paint category. However, paint issues near the wing seam and on the bottom of the fuselage cause them to lose points. The blue paint on the belly isn't shaped correctly, leading to misalignment with the gear doors. Despite all the issues with their model, NG didn't screw up the paint job on their model. The colors are accurate, and the livery details are where they should be. The story would have been the same with PandaModel, but excessive paint chipping on the leading edge of the winglets cost them a point. Thankfully, this issue can be fixed. Category 9 results: Gemini Jets 2, NG Model 5, PandaModel 4. Category 10 Printed Detail. Gemini Jets also does well with printed detail. However, they feature less than their competitors, especially on the bottom of the fuselage. NG Model misses on their printed detail. The cockpit windows and window line on the fuselage are too far out of place to the point where they make the rest of the fuselage look incorrect. PandaModel did a fine job on their printing, featuring details almost everywhere. Category 10 results: Gemini Jets 4, NG Model 3, PandaModel 5. Category 11 Quality. Gemini Jets has a reputation for poor quality control, but not this time. Overall, it was decent, but not perfect. Paint anomalies and debris in the seam gaps show that Gemini's assembly and paint quality needed some work in 2018. NG Model strangely does worse here. From paint scratches to a giant glue blob on the fuselage, NG's quality control seems to have faltered on this model. Lastly, PandaModel had decent quality on their model, with the exception of the paint scratches. The issue with their quality is not the model itself, but it's the packaging. The model was soaked in oil and caked in hair and dust. It was absolutely disgusting, and it took way too long to clean it all off. Category 11 results: Gemini Jets 4, NG Model and PandaModel 3. Now, the final results for today's showdown. Coming in first place with an accurate and detailed model, PandaModel, finishing with an impressive 47 out of 55 points or an 85% overall. PandaModel takes the win on their first try. Well done, we're looking forward to their next visit. Second place goes to NG Model, scoring 39 out of 55 points or 70% overall. NG took a backseat in today's competition. Third place goes to Gemini Jets, scoring 38 out of 55 points or 69% overall. They almost beat NG. Looks like their outdated tooling is no match for what today's industry has to offer. This concludes today's showdown. As always, even though we have a clear winner, all three models are works of art and should be appreciated in their own ways. Now for a personal note from your host, Ray. PandaModel came out of the blue this time around. Usually, Gemini or NG take the win, but we got quite the underdog story today. PandaModel's 767 toolings are the best on the market right now, and it shows. It's refreshing to see this as well, considering the disappointment that was NG's 767 tooling. I'm surprised that NG fell so far behind. This is very unusual from them. There's a first time for everything, I guess. I'm not surprised about Gemini's model getting third place though. Their tooling is ancient and in desperate need of an update. That's all for today, thanks for watching. Which model would you prefer? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you need help or you want to chat one-on-one, feel free to reach out to me through my social medias linked on my channel's About page. If you're new to the channel and you want to show some support, like this video and subscribe so you never miss another upload. Happy building, happy collecting, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.